Hello and welcome to Stockton Junction update video. So first things we'll go through are there's a few new additions to the layout, but what I'll do is I'll go round the layout so far, where I've got to with different areas and what's new. First thing that's new is this Helgen Class 33. As you can see that the body shell isn't sat on it properly. That's because I fitted a sound chip, but the speaker's too big for the body to go back down, so I need to order a smaller speaker for that. So that will be coming in the future. I'm not in any rush to do that at the minute. The reason I bought the Class 33 is because of my inclines. The 4-car DMU, or EMU rather, will not go up and down the inclines because it hasn't got enough weight. But upon searching the internet at images, I found that sometimes these were pulled by a 33. So I bought this to go on a consist with that. I haven't yet managed to get it going, simply because I have a bit of an issue with the chip that's in the EMU on the Class 411 there. Basically what happens if I stop my electrical circuit, when I start it, the train moves. Stop it, start it, the train moves. That is an indicator that there's an issue with the chip. So I need to buy a new chip for that, as I wasn't able to speed match them, and that's partly due to the fact that the chip is playing up. So that's a job for later on. Not in any great rush for that one. That's my petroleum livery, this is going to be my fuel depot area here. I haven't got any fuel tankers yet, but that'll be in the future. Another new addition is the second red parcels Royal Mail Class 121, and I've got the blue parcels 121 as well. I intend on running both of those again on a consist together around the layout at a later date, but again they both need chips. Not in any rush for those at the moment. So as we go round, got signal box I did a bit of weathering on a little while back. I don't know if I mentioned that in a previous video. That's approximately where it'll be going, so that the wires here are meant to go into there. New thing I've been working on is a scale model scenery wire cabling kit, which is this here. What you get is you get these little tiny clips along here. You can buy it with the wires. I actually used my own wire, and I'll do a video at a later date on how to assemble this. And as you can see, it runs all the way along the length of the platform, as you might see prototypically. I intend to do one on that platform there as well, coming down, and also one coming from there, which will go into the wiring for the signal box, going all the way along the back wall along that way, and then probably another one going down that back wall that way as well, just adding extra detailing to the view as it comes together. I've also combined the wires, as you can see, to go straight into the cable trunking. And as you can see, because in my last video I showed you how to do these wires inside, and I'm using the same wire here as here, so it will all blend in together quite nicely. And I'll be using the same wire later on, coming out of the trunking, going to the point motors as well that are housed there. So a few new additions. Bought a set of these little cameras, which look quite good, very well detailed, off of eBay. From the same seller, also sells these information boards and clocks. I also spoke to him and asked him to do me just these parts for the information boards, which will go underneath the canopies on my platforms. And also purchased off of him as well these ramps, which are for the getting trolleys or wheelchairs etc onto and off of the trains. And that is the Cellar Dusty Lionflower. Very good items, very well made, highly recommended. Next up are these benches. I painted these in red previously to buying these, and it's a slightly different red, I think. So I've now got some Network Southeast red, which I'm going to repaint. I've got another set of these that I'm painting at the moment. As you can see, they're the proper prototypical benches, very well made, tiny little holes in them. That's the product and the number, and they are on eBay, but they also sell directly, I believe. That's the information on those. There, can't remember how much I paid for them, but they come in a pack of 10. I've got 10 there. I've got another 10 downstairs being painted at the moment. I'm going to repaint these as well in the other colouring. These, I'll just show you quickly, are the clips that you get from Scale Model Scenery. They come in 4 little strips of 4, which you cut off of the central piece. On the back wall over there I will do 4 cables, but on the front wall here I cut these in half. Sorry about the focusing because it's very small items. I cut them in half, which was quite tricky, but managed to do, to make them into 2s, as most of the cabling that I've noticed on the side on images that I've looked at of platforms, they only have the 2. So there is one that I've cut in half, as you can see. Also makes the pack go a bit further. If you only want 2 cables, there's no point in using all 4 clips. I'll be buying a few more packs later on. I've also bought from Scale Model Scenery and assembled 2 of these, which are the light up vending machines. They are going to go on that end wall there at the end of the building. I've got one over there and one for this platform, and they will be installed at a later date. I'm actually hoping I might be able to find another vending machine of some description to go next to it, so I can have 2 vending machines there at that point. And as you can see, this is my island platform building. It's a Scale Scenes kit. I converted it by making, that's actually 2 sets of 1, because it comes in the 4 section there, well, 3 windows in the door section, and then the smaller section there. So I've made 2 smaller sections and 2 bigger sections, all joined to make 1 larger island platform. I intend to do in exactly the same again on this platform. I didn't like the roofing, which I did discuss in a previous video, so I've got this plasticard which I've started. I need to trim the end there. I've started putting on and giving it a base colour of paint just to see how it looks. I'm quite happy with it. There's a few gaps where the plastic joins, but with a bit of weathering I think it'll come out quite nicely. I've also had thought of putting another section of the canopy like this onto this end here. I've now decided I probably won't do that, but I'd left wires here out in case I wanted to light another section of canopy. And what I'll show you now is when I turn this over, I've quite highly modified this. as you can see, there are lights for there, all the way along the underside of the canopy. So that will really light up the platform really nicely. There's also lighting inside the buildings. I've still got a bit of work to do. I want to actually white out some of these windows, as you would see in proper British Rail quite often at my local train station especially. You go onto the platform, there's several of the windows, there's a small waiting room. All the other windows apart from the toilets are all whited out because they're used by the railway for storage, etc. So this is another new addition. This is class 50045 Achilles. Amazing loco. I remember seeing this in the flesh several times when I was younger. Only problem with this is it has the older PCB. I bought a class 50 sound chip to fit in it. Wouldn't work. Loco wouldn't work at all. I put in a standard 8-pin chip, ran perfectly, albeit the chip was back to front. It was a fault on these locos with the PCBs, and originally obviously when people bought them they could send them back to have it exchanged for a new PCB, but obviously the owner of this one, whoever originally bought it, didn't send it off. They obviously used it on analog and not DCC and didn't worry about it. So at a later date I'm going to have to change the PCB board on that, but it's running at the moment, just no sound. Not a big problem for me though. Can do that at a later date. There's a lot more important things to be doing. Another kit I've been building are these trolleys, like the brute trolleys. These are from Scale Model Scenery again. I shall be I've got a couple more. They will be used and placed underneath the layout. Under there will be lighting underneath, because I've rebuilt the back platform and extended it about halfway along towards the back. I've also, since obviously the last video, built this first platform here as well, this newer one, which is going to be platforms 3 and 4, 1 and 2 being on that side. Underneath there will be lighting. I've installed, basically I've cut into the platforms and put a block in like this, which is purely for supporting this top, because it did have a tiny little bit of a bow in, and where I want to put the station here, it needs a little bit of support. So I thought, how can I hide that? So I bought, obviously I made the brick paper around it on card formers, and then I bought the Scale Scenes lifts there, which you can see perfectly fitting. There's another one on over the back there underneath the other side as well. It's hard to see, but they hide an essential part of the construction for the top part. So ideal. I'm not really too bothered about whether there's any lifts at the top. It's just purely for aesthetics, just to cover up. So the next thing I've been working on is this bridge. Now this is a Metcalfe bridge, but it has been converted. I've brick papered it, as you can see, taken the top and the roof off of it completely, as I don't want that style of bridge, which is more akin to maybe a steam railway or a older line. I wanted something a bit more in keeping with the brick that's going around this area anyway. So it's the start of my station build. This is the main module, and as you can see, it's not finished. I've still got a lot to do. There is a full interior detailing, lighting. I'm building an office in the top area, which is for railway personnel. In the bottom area is a cafe, which will be I can't remember what it was called now. It'll come to me later. Custom made by myself, benches and seating. There'll be a full interior there's a counter at the back. There'll be a fridge, a little plastic counter on the top of the countertop with food, plates, cups, knives and forks on the tables, all the little details. And that's why it's taken me so long to build. There'll be a ticket office this side, and this side will be a Red Star Parcels office. So this whole area, this will be here, a walkway along there with a wall edge here, so the passengers can come out at this end onto the main road, or they can go through the ticket office. There'll be one of those little boxes with a conductor sat in it at this end, which you did see still sat around in the 80s and 90s. And then in front here I'll have a bus area. This will be my road. So obviously that's work in progress. Going back from my last video, here's the car park area. As you can see, the positioning of it now, it's just in front of the station. They have to walk around the corner to get in there, but that'll be fine. And there'll be a pub on this section. Now this whole section, the reason I was working on it elsewhere is because it's a lift out section. This lifts up, and when I've got a model here, I'll be able, that's glued down, I'll be able to just lift it. It's not very heavy. Lift it up and out if I have any derailments underneath. So what else I've been working on is these Scale Scenes shops. They do a house and shop kit. I've also converted massively. As you can see, I have a Tesco's there. I've converted all to proper shops. I have interiors, which you can see, they're all fully lighted. All these are my own custom made. I will later on at a later date make the sheet available via eBay or something for a nominal fee for anyone that wants these frontages and the signage to go on any of these. The other thing that I have also done, as you can see, it's hard to look at, is there are wraps inside which correspond to proper shops. That is proper Tesco's in there. That is a proper charity shop image inside that one, a proper Ladbrokes interior in that one, and so on. Even down to the McDonald's. It's hard to focus on them. There is also room wraps inside the rooms above, which until I light them all up is a bit hard to spot. I have another section here where the church is. That is another lift up section from here to the back. That literally will lift out. Again, if I have any derailments under there, there are 3 points down back behind there. The other kit I'm working on at this present time is the hotel kit. I've still got the left hand corner module to finish building, but that's progress so far. That again has room wraps inside it, a bar wrap, restaurant wrap. So when the lights are on, you'll actually see proper rooms inside rather than just the original coloured walls with a door that come with the kit. I'm very much into detailing. These obviously are all further back, so they just have wraps. When you come further forwards, nearer the front of the layout, like here, these buildings will have interiors. The next area is going to be here, which is going to be a little cul-de-sac with maybe 4 houses on, depending on the size of the houses when I finish building them. They will have full interiors, kitchens, lounges, bedrooms, etc. They're going to take quite some time, but when you come along and you actually look inside them, it's going to be worth the effort, I believe. So that there, where the well, I've forgotten what it's called now, but the foam board, that's it, is. Originally I was going to use foam board for my lift out sections, but I found that it bows a little bit, so I've got to cut out another piece of the hardboard to fit in there. But that's going to be where my fire station sits. Again, that'll be a lift out section, which is to get to more points that are just up here on any derailments. Obviously this area over here I haven't worked on. There's my little multi-story car park that I built. I'm thinking about putting it around there. I've got some DHL buildings over in the sat in the corner. Over this side I plan on doing Royal Mail depot, and along the front here I haven't even thought of yet, maybe more housing or something along those lines. But obviously I need to incorporate another lift out section over there into the design of whatever I'm going to fit in that area. So as we come back, you can see it's a Metcalfe bridge. I bought it at a model railway shop pre-built. It doesn't quite match the brick paper on there, but it's not far off. I am considering buying another one and just re-bricking it, or making my own version of it, but it's sat there just to, for the moment, to sort of show where everything will go. There'll be a road coming up to there and off to there, and these are, I can't remember if there was, I think they're scale scenes arch kit, which will be mounted along there, but I'm not ready to do those until I've finished all the tops, which will have full lighting in, full street lighting everywhere. So obviously that's going to take quite some time, and I can't fix them down each section until all the wiring and lighting is done, because there are tracks underneath. So I need to actually direct the wires on the underside of the hardboarding to the back areas where I've put pre-drilled holes for them to go down. As we come round, I have quite a collection now of the permanent way British Rail vehicles for my permanent way yard that's coming over this side. I also have a couple of these Knock Minis. I actually got these for Christmas, which are going to be on a section of track where the workers are training on. So as we come round, not a lot more done on this area at all. This area here where the water tower is going, I really still haven't worked on that. I need to do something here. I don't like this finish at all. What I have been working on though is this back section here. I've started that bit needs finishing. I haven't put any bushes in yet, but I've started, as you can see, filling out. From here is done, going along bits of wild grass, etc., for this rear line, which is a disused line. It will never be used. It's not got any power, and it is literally just for disused locos like that. Nice 47 there, and class 37. They're going to be a permanent fixture there. This wagon I really need to do some more weathering on. I don't like it. And the little one there, the little flatbed wagon thing, Warwell I think it is, it's fine. I'm quite happy with that. And the old steam loco there. Yeah, so they're coming on. I haven't done any work on this area at all at the moment. My main focus has been on the underside of the layout, and trying to get that finished. So that's about it for now with where the layout's at. Obviously I've done, like I said, work on the underside. So I have one other large addition to the layout, and that is I have a new control system. Now I will go show you this briefly, but I'm going to do a proper review video on it at a later date, and that is the ECOS ESU command station. It is amazing. So absolutely brilliant bit of kit. So far not one fault with it. 10 times better than that piece of rubbish there that's broken 3 times. This has broken. As soon as you turn round, face the wrong way, you lose signal. Awful. I'm quite happy with this sat here. I've sort of built it so it sits at an angle here perfectly for me to view it. I have a control panel here for my switches. I've still got another control panel to build the other side, so when I sit in the middle I can just flick either side for control for all the points this side of the layout, and vice versa for the other side. So I'll just show you, I do have the layout running now, and I have another new addition to show you very shortly. Right. Would you believe, obviously recording it in one go, and switch the loco on and it's stalled on a dirty patch of track, but that's my class 20 with my permanent way. Ooh, helps if I go the right way. And what I'll do is I'll show you shortly the work that's been going on the underside. I'll leave that running for now just to give you a little view, and hopefully you get a sort of more of a in-depth here of how large the layout is. So that comes over there, it goes down that tunnel. Unfortunately there's a wood pile up on top of there. That will be a very large scenic area at a later date, but as you can see here, it comes down, and you can see the other side comes down in front of it, and it's quite hard to see under here at the moment, but it comes down there. The outer track goes over the back there, as you can see. This is the near side track, which is going to be the freight lines, which come along here and split into three here. They split again around the back. I haven't finished the inner tracks there, as you can see they're still to be done and joined, and there's another 6 there, so there'll be 6 sidings there, 6 sidings that side. And as we go round, it goes round there, under here, and then down through there and back up the other side. I've still got a fair bit of work to do, and that will then come up over here, which comes back round to the engine shed area and completes the circuit. I'm going to turn the sound off on that loco for a minute. Just leave that running. What we have at the back here, this area here, I know it's covered in wood, but there's going to be a big flat area there, as you can see. That goes back quite some way, a good three foot to there. That's going to be a purely scenic area, whole 8 foot across by 3 foot deep. I'm going to have a rural scenes on there, you know, canal, things like that, and a little village, etc. There'll be a road coming across this side, going along there, up to that side, and obviously as I have started building this side, the same this side, so there'll be a road that meets. At the back there, I purely put that in. It's a shelf to hide the tracks below from dust and dirt, and obviously for storage at the moment. I'm also going to build a rural scene on top of that, so there'll be another further foot and a half to nearly 2 foot depth of scenery. So you're talking a very, very large amount of just pure scenery work at the back there. Obviously I need to clear some of this wood. I've had it up here still because I've still been working on the underside of the layout, and for that reason I needed bits of wood for building the frames, building all the sections, all this stuff under here. So there is one small, or rather large, addition to the layout, which is by far my favourite addition so far, and I can blame Richard at Everard Junction for this, because after watching his video a few weeks ago, I had to buy one. So don't know if that gives you any clue, but this is the new addition to my layout. It is the amazing APT, and what a piece of engineering this is. I will say that though Richard did say on Everard Junction it's too loud. It is. I do need to go in and change the CV setting to turn the volume down a bit. It is far too loud, but it has 2 power cars, so that car there is powered, the one at the other end is powered. It's got two sound modules, one either end, so you get sound from both locos, not just from one. It's got a fully detailed interior. It's hard to see, but absolutely brilliant model. Only issue I've got is I've had this running around the track quite a lot. No problem. I went to have a test run of it just before starting the video, and I have a 3-way point that it was a second-hand point, but it has decided to pack up, so it derails every time it goes through. I've had this running around about 30, 40 times around the layout, no problem. Switch it off, switch it back on, and then a problem. As always, when you're recording, something's going to go wrong. So I need to get a new 3-way point, and then hopefully on my next session, let's turn that off, I will hopefully have it running around the layout for you, and you can see it in all its glory. So I do need it on that centre track. I've purposely cut the end of that platform right underneath there to allow the train to go through. As you look, it has such a long nose on it, just like the prototypical real thing, that when it corners, this nose comes right out. It really does come out on a corner. So I've had to cut the platform back right down under there, and to allow for that. And also that means that I'm limited to running it on this line rather than the other lines, just purely because of clearances, etc., that I've allowed for with that track as it goes round. I've made sure that there are no issues with it hitting anything or coming into contact with anything, hopefully. So especially with the cost of something like that. It's also the 5-car edition with DCC sound. They do it as a 4-car, but you can purchase an extra car for it to make it into the 5-car model. But what can I say about their quality of build? It's amazing. With the 2 power cars, it's very weighty, so it goes up and down the inclines no problem, even at low speeds. You don't have to go fast to get up the incline, it just goes. That's what I do like about it. It's just, the build quality is amazing, it's solid. It was really fiddly joining the carriages together to start with until you got the hang of it, because they are really tricky, but absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to actually show everyone it running in the flesh properly all the way around the layout, especially with the lighting down through the underside. Looks good. So hopefully you'll enjoy that in the future. So it's quite a lot I've done so far. Most of the work's been underneath, doing wiring, etc. I've still got a fair bit to do down there, but I am trying to get more buildings on that end section finished so that I can actually get some lighting in and actually have a railway that's starting to look like a model railway. So I'm trying to fixate on the platform area and that corner there at the moment, and that will be my main goal for the foreseeable future. So anyway, I would just like to add, obviously if you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications if you wish to. I also have a Patreon channel for anyone that does wish to support the channel and help to grow the channel, and that is Stockton_Junction, and that's with a capital S, capital J, and that's on at Patreon. So thank you for watching. Don't feel obliged to go on there, but anything helps and would be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much, and I will see you soon in the next car park update 2 video. Thank you, bye.